What is up, YouTube? My Cowboys family here, bringing you guys the latest update on our very own Dallas Cowboys. And of course, as always, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. This is an extra special pre-game Saturday live stream because, of course, tomorrow we face off against the extra hated NFC East rivals, those Eagles.
I'm sorry, I can't say. Yeah. Those PHILTHadelphia Eagles. And yeah, Sirianni screaming like you got Jalen Hurts over there, looking a little scared because he got Micah on his tail, and we got some Eagles about to be devoured. That's the hope. We got
along with a few things to obviously touch on, talk about pregame before we jump into tomorrow night.
You can see we're going to be in those icy whites there, and you're seeing defense over there with Gilmore in the secondary, the offense, Dak, the offensive line, the tight ends, the CeeDee Lamb, everybody. We're going to talk about it tonight as we pregame this Eagle game tonight on MCF. Before we can even get going, though, baby, right? Hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. But as we kick it off here, got to remind you about the people that make the world go around.
That's right. So a huge and extra special shout out to the sponsor of the week and the Cash App King 2 weeks in a row.
Back to back.
Snug X.
Like our 90s Cowboys.
You know why he's here. I appreciate you, Snug.
Much love to the Snug X. Appreciate you. I think he's in the house as well. So as always, go Cowboys.
And of course, Jason Renfro still holding on and representing with 15 points on the stream, boss.
He's hanging on.
That's right. And a tip of the hat to our membership gifting queen, Mary Alvarez.
Much love to Mary, who dropped the 5 on it last week, and that was enough to win that crown. And she's battling at the top of the spot. She's third right now on the overall side of things. But pre-stream, baby, we had Skeptical Fan drop 2. And then he had tied Jason Renfro for the top spot. Much love, the Skeptical Fan, always showing the love here. And then Jason Renfro said, hold on, and dropped another gifted membership. So he took a 1-point lead as we get down to the finish line here. Fourth quarter, so to speak, up by 1. Right now, it's, I think it's, 15 to 14? 15 to 14. And we got, I think
Double R in that navy blue membership for 4 months.
Yeah,
huge shout out to you, Double R.
That's his comment. I think his monthly comment. We know what that means. Go Cowboys.
Always.
Much love. That takes Jason Renfro down to 14 points, still hanging on to the stream boss as we enter this huge game against the Eagles tomorrow. Much love to Double R. Much love to Skeptical Fan, by the way, in second place, with Jason Renfro leading the way in first place, trying to get Mary Alvarez's crown. But then we also have a battle going on the Cash App board. Snug X, 2 weeks in a row on the board, in the mix here, in the running. But right now we have ourselves a new leader, and that's David Schmidt, who dropped a triple on it yesterday, guys. And he has that lead, jumped by 10, I think, over Stanley Smith. So that battle will continue. It's a close one, and we got a lot of people in the mix there because last night, baby, there was a little bit of an after party, an after dark world, MCF After Dark, and I'll explain what happened there in a minute. But on the overall board, Jason Renfro still in front, even though it's getting tight right now on the overall board. We had some pre-stream drops. Skeptical Fan, like I said, dropped 2 gifted memberships. Jason dropped a 5 on it. He also dropped the 127 in the Cash App and 1 here in the Super Chat. Motor City also dropped a 5 on it tonight. That gives him 10. He's in the raffle. I'll explain shortly. Roy Strasner, part of the Navy Blue crew. Back in that Navy Blue. Appreciate him.
That's right.
And then, I got to say, again, we had a little After Dark. MCF After Dark. Another channel, guys, that we don't advertise it too much. We just talk about it here and there. You guys can find it easy to find. MCF After Dark. You can subscribe. Now, it's a lot of different things that go down there. Not a lot of football stuff. Either way, we had a little party, fun, whatever it may be. And much love to those that dropped the love last night there. Yes, Eastside Harold officially in the raffle. Mary Alvarez making a run to the top spot here. Jason Renfro also dropped a little bit there. Motor City, again, like I said, now has 10 total. He's in the raffle. I think it's LB or IB Thunder, 10 on it. He's also PayPaling it. And Gloria making a run at things too. She's at 6.5, basically, with 6 entries right now in the raffle. Total, she dropped a little bit of love in there. A lot of love in there as well. for last night's little stream after dark. So that counts for these numbers here, guys. That's the way we've been telling you guys. We have a little overtime session there 3 times a week or so. So definitely check us out if you're interested in some non-football fun. And I'm talking about extra late night stuff sometimes. So, that's when I shout out everybody involved in the thing. As we proceed going forward, there's a lot of ways to drop the love. We just talked about a bunch, right? Like
yes, we
Cash
did.
App. I'm sorry, not Cash App, but Super Chat. The thanks button, there's that there, but there's the membership jumping into that, and there's a gifted membership. But there's 4 ways you can try to get in this thing without, on the Cash App side, let's just say.
Of course, you have the Cash App money sign MyCowboysFamily, the Venmo at my-Cowboys-Family, the regular PayPal link, and last but not least, the Streamlabs link. Let your comment show up on screen just like the Super Chat.
It goes up on that overall board as well, so appreciate everybody there. Of course, last night was Fan Friday. Shout out to Silver Level and the Star and the Over Everything on that night. I think we're shouting out somebody else I see popped up on my side of things. Mr. A. Lavelle, a Silver Level member, the longest running consecutive member here on our channel in any level. Much love. He's in that Silver Level. And I'm going to do a shout out him and Prince Jackson, by the way, in the Silver. What double shout outs for them. And what about the Star Level, baby?
Of course, shout out to Skeptical Fan, Jason Renfro, Lincoln Kane, Mary Alvarez, Andy Potched, Marissa Sparkle, Dwayne Brassard, and The Lunatic.
And hey, we got something to say about The Lunatic that it literally affects this here drop by the man A. Lavelle. What did the man say with that Tony Pollard holler? And guess who's taking over that stream, boss? The boss is now A. Lavelle.
He said, "What's up, MCF and MCW? What's good, everyone in the chat? Hope everyone is safe and healthy. Let's beat the Sheagles. Show them who runs the East. The Eagles may have the refs, but they are in our house now. Let's go, Cowboys, baby."
Yes, much love, A. Lavelle. You know what else? Yeah, we talked about the refs here. They're very pro-Eagles, we know. But the thing is, they actually usually have the home team. There's a high percentage winners here. So, yeah, exactly like you said, in our house now. No excuses. Let's get this win. Case closed.
No, so, and again, huge shout out to Mr. A. Lavelle. Appreciate you. Hope you and the fam also safe and healthy. Hope everyone's ready to go for tomorrow's game.
Yes.
I know a few of you guys are at work listening in. I know a few of you guys are chilling at home listening in, out on the road listening in. However you're listening in, watching, hanging with us. Appreciate you all, of course.
Thank you guys. Hit the like.
Yeah, Stanley Smith, by the way, saying Dallas 45, Eagles 21. So that just reminds me as well. Drop your score predictions as I do some shout outs here in the chat. No, that's all right. I'll do the shout-outs in the chat, and then we'll get to the raffle.
All right, sounds good. We can reverse it.
Because we got the man, The Lunatic, in the house.
Yeah.
Much love, always. Fuck Philly. And guys, if you have those emojis, make sure you drop them. Stanley Smith, hello and hi. Chalk to Montana 808. Repping it. By the way, I know it's going to sound really silly, but now I know what the 808 stands for. I didn't know what it stood for now. But now I do. So, shout out to you, man. We got Seabass in the house saying 35-21. Of course. Cowboys. Brandon James, what's up? Thanks for being here. We have Jason Renfro in the house. Much love, Jason Renfro.
The leader
Mike
overall.
Aldana, howdy to you as well. Michael Clark saying Dak's going to throw for 388, 3 yards, and 1 rushing touchdown. So, that'd be one heck of a game, right? Michael Clark, what's up? Double R representing. We got Mackenzie 2 times. Amazing games with some West Coast love. Karam Mawani, hello and hi. Always, Mike is the lion, hungry lion.
That's why you got
Snug X in the house. What's up? Dwayne Brassard, the top dog himself. Colleen K, hello. Spoony Dog, much love. We have, let me see who else. Dave Brown was gifted a membership by the man, Jason Renfro.
Yeah.
Shout out to you. Of course, Skeptical Fan, always staying skeptical. Gifting one to Kirk Burning. Freedom First, looks like he was also first, so shout out to him as well. What's up, Aztec Aguilar 04? Appreciate you. What's up? Oh, that's nice. Choice Roberts saying 41-27 us. Hey, you already know. Skeptical Fan, shout out to you as well. So, Delunatic said, our wide receivers versus the Philly defensive backs, Dallas 30, Philly 21, F the haters.
That's the biggest key. If we can keep them off our quarterback, and that's the key to win this game. The Lunatic already knows it.
Yeah, I am still back and forth on what exactly I think that final score is going to be, just because I'm not sure what defense is going to show. I can tell you what offense is going to show up, because I think this offense is going to put up 38 points against this Philly defense. The way that we're heading, because just
Oh,
saying.
we got to unveil that.
But we'll get to that. My point is that I'm still kind of back and forth on how many points I think Philly's going to score on us. But we'll get to that later during some of our maybe bold predictions. How about that?
Yeah, definitely bold predictions and score predictions towards the end. But let's give you the last things that went down today for our Cowboys. Before we get there, though, baby, the lunatic, one of the star level members, the OG, the Godfather here. But baby, we got to tell everybody about this raffle. The last chance to get in this thing is tonight. Right. Tonight, this is it. So if you want to either get in this raffle or add your chances to win one of these 4 prizes by adding raffle entries, how do they get in this thing, baby?
Again, you drop $10, bam, you're automatically entered, and those entries, I should say, stack. So every $10 is another entry, and if you are in the membership, you do get an additional bonus entry as well.
That's right. For example, you just saw A. Lavelle drop the 20. That's 2 entries for him. He's in the silver level, so he's got 3. Plus, he had dropped already from that silver level, jumping in the membership. That's 4. So boom, already 4 entries. You never know what you can get. There's other people that got 10, 12, and more, but not many. A lot of people are in that like 3, 4, 5, 6 category. So I just wanted to kind of, because tonight we're wrapping it up here. And again, tomorrow at halftime of this game, pop in here or be in here the whole time. Hopefully the whole time you guys are here. Definitely try to be here if you're in this raffle. We're going to pick the 4 winners live on stream. So can't wait to see who's the big winners, and much love to the lunatic. Now, what are the prizes they can win in this thing?
Of course, in 4th place, you have this awesome cowboy car package, so you can be rolling in style the cowboy way, right? You have some decals, some of those license plate frames, some stickers, all sorts of other things.
Flags, yeah.
Lanyard.
Yep.
So 3rd place, guys, a customizable cowboy shirt, any name, any number, and that embroidered Micah Parsons signature cap.
I think this is one of the best, and this is 3rd. 1st and 2nd, though, they're the same ones.
Of course, your choice. An authentic, like, stitched-in jersey with the player, style, size available that you would like.
Yeah, sewn and stitched.
As we got it, you got it.
I know, like, Motor City is in this thing officially now, right? Mm-hmm. He could pick a Lion. He's a Lions fan. He could pick a Lions jersey. Eastside could get C.J. Stroud if he wanted to, if that's available. Yeah. He's a rookie, so it's harder, but it's up to whatever Mosh got. They don't have many choices. That's an example. If you're not even a Cowboy fan and you're in this thing, there's a couple people in this raffle that are not Cowboy fans. But also, I want to say much love to Cowboys Mosh, and much love to the lunatic for making this whole thing happen. And you can see here, 1st and 2nd place, 3rd place, 4th place, 4 prize raffle, brought to you by the lunatic.
Yes. So again, huge shout out to Amanda Lunatic. Appreciate you, of course. Lunatic said, if a non-Cowboy fan wins 3rd or 4th place, I will get their effing team gear.
I didn't even know that. I did not realize that. I would figure they would just give it back. They just wanted a jersey.
Well,
but
let's deeply, deeply hope that a Dallas Cowboy fan will be representing on all 4 points of the board there. And, I have to admit, so far, our streak has been pretty good.
Yeah.
So
I will say also that sometimes even some of these non-Cowboy fans, they wouldn't mind like a gifting that to a family member that is a Cowboy fan. So I think a couple of these people do also have Cowboy fans in their lives.
Yes.
Oh, Brandon James dropping that 5 on it. He's in the house. What did he have to say?
Shohei Ohtani joining the Dodgers on a 10-year, $700 million contract. The Lakers win the championship, and go Cowboys. Go Cowboys. I like Dak Prescott.
Yeah, MVP.
I think a lot of us are really liking Dak Prescott right now, especially with the performance he's having.
Yeah, that baseball player, by the way, got paid
James,
huge money. Crazy numbers right there.
Well earned, well deserved.
Yes.
So, looking crazy in the house. Thank you. Appreciate that. Much love. And Jason Renfro, so sorry to hear that. Our hearts are definitely with you and your family. Sorry to hear that. That really sucks.
What happened?
His grandmother is sick, and unfortunately, one of his dogs passed. So.
Damn, I'm sorry to hear that, brother. Stay strong. We'll keep you, hopefully, your head up here on MCF. So, we already did the shout-outs tonight, I think. I don't know if anybody else jumped in since, but let's keep it rolling here. What do you say? Oh, yeah, one last thing. Did I already say? I didn't say this big shout-out I had to make here. I don't know if he's in the house in the chat right now, but it is Stanley Smith.
Woo.
Back in a tie for the top spot right now. Stanley Smith and David Shamet. They are tied for first place at the top of the Cash App board. And that's a battle. We'll see what happens here, guys. Stanley Smith has had that crown before. We'll see what happens this time.
Stanley.
Yes.
I know he did drop his score prediction.
What was that?
And it was 40. Let me see, what was it? 45-21 Dallas.
45.
So he's expecting quite the blowout.
Yeah, we're talking about really.
Which would be
listen. If the Cowboys play the way I think they can play. I think that's a reasonable final score. How will they stop the pass if they cannot get to Dak? As Little Flip said, game over. I'm just saying. Stanley Smith, much love to you. He's tied on the top spot there with David Shamet. We'll see who takes that down. Of course, tomorrow left to see who decides that crown. That's a 2-week battle, by the way. So we got. Let me keep it going here, starting on the NFL side real quick. All right, guys. NFL determined that the Bengals were in full compliance with the league's injury report policy when Joe Burrow suffered his season-ending wrist injury during that Thursday night game at Baltimore. Remember, there was a lot of controversy about having that sling, that kind of hand, I don't want to say cast, but it was like a hand brace getting off the plane. They said after an investigation, the league said there were no violations. So no loss of draft pick, nothing like that for the Bengals. Then you got the Steelers. Now, they're having issues. They just lost the game on Thursday. They they're basically going to be knocked out the playoffs because of that. Their best pass rushers are now in danger of not playing. Alex Highsmith has entered the NFL's concussion protocol after last night's game, after the Thursday night game. And he has more time to clear it before the next game because they have kind of a 10-day break here. So they have a little mini bye. You also have TJ Watt that came in today with symptoms in the morning that placed him in the concussion protocol as well. TJ Watt, one of the guys going with Micah and defensive player of the year. Now, he is in danger of maybe not making the next game. We'll see what happens. Hope the best for him. I hope he gets in. I agree. He was blocked pretty well, I think, in this game. I don't think he did much this game. And then, of course, had that concussion. So, hope the best for him. And by the way, speaking of an opponent, I would say direct opponent, not a statistical opponent, but Geno Smith last week, dealing now with what is considered a 2-week injury to his groin. Came out of this game with that. And as much as the Seahawks, they're trying to have him play through it, Seattle is not expected to decide on his availability for this Sunday's game. It's a big game for them against the 49ers, which if we could beat the Eagles and the Niners slip up to the Seahawks, that puts us only needing the Eagles to slip up one time and we win out. We got this. You know what I'm saying? So it's still hard to do for us. Don't get me wrong, but I'm saying that's where it would stand. Because the Niners and Eagles still will have to lose one more game if we win tomorrow against the Eagles. So the Niners, we want the Seahawks with their backup to Geno Smith, probably not going to do it. We'll have to see what happens. Just another pregame warm-ups. They're going to decide that kind of stuff. I do not expect Geno Smith to play. We'll see what happens. Now that's like the intro of the news of the day. The rest of this stuff is kind of interesting because it's kind of from the Eagles and Niners game last week, but it does affect the Cowboys. Let me explain. The head of security for the Eagles, DiSandro, being barred from being on Philadelphia's sideline for Sunday night's game against the Cowboys for his part in last Sunday's sideline battle there with the Niners' Dre Greenlaw, who hit him in the face. Dre Greenlaw hit him in the face, but he stood in the middle, kind of went at him too. So DiSandro is allowed to go to Dallas with the Eagles and do his regular job duties, just cannot be on the team's sideline during the game. That's the ruling. Fair or not fair, I don't know. But DiSandro and the other Eagle officials met Friday morning at the league office in New York with Roger Goodell. And the league is still reviewing additional material to see if more discipline will be dished out here.
I mean, it's kind of a tricky situation. But, I mean, hey, I'm not going to be the one arguing against it when it sounds like there was obviously technically violence involved, right? So that's where it gets a little bit tricky.
Yeah.
Like, if they really feel like that's crossing the line, then yeah, I can see why they're like, hey, sure, you can kind of go with the team, but can't really join the team or be part of it. Because then, are they really punishing him? I don't know. I guess that's how they're perceiving it, I guess.
Yeah, it's just like a punishment. Because it seems like he was also kind of, I won't say instigating, but getting involved.
I just wish it would kind of be less wishy-washy and just either come down, fully outright punish him, or not. Like, this feels like some weird in-between shit.
Well, that's the way the NFL is still looking at other possible things, but the Eagles said today on this DiSandro security guard situation, quote, "This is an ongoing conversation with the NFL, and we are going to respect the restriction that is currently in place. Although Dom will not be on the sideline this Sunday, he will continue to fulfill his role with the team in all other capacities. So
Seabass is saying folks are saying that the Don DiSandro guy is part of the mob or in the mafia or something. I mean,
it's always gonna. I mean, that's kind of.
Are they just stereotyping him because of his name?
It sounds like. I mean, he was wearing an Italian flag on his arm, but I mean, it was like a soccer shirt or whatever. But I mean, so he's proud of his heritage. I don't think that's anything to do with the mafia or the mob. If people are gonna start saying stuff like that, that's usually just rumors.
Yeah, Dylan said, "Hef, get down the refs. Just call the holds against Micah, right? Thank you." D Link in the house. How about them Cowboys? Hell yeah. Eric Wallace said, I think an offer of Dom not being on the sidelines. Cowboys 57, Eagles 0.
I'm gonna. By the way, another shout out to Stanley Smith. You know why?
What?
He put another 5 on it.
Ooh, shout out to you, Stanley.
In the Cash App, which means he's taking the lead now. In the Cash App officially. And by the way, just so he knows, he's also 5 back on another raffle entry. That'll make it, I think, 11. Mr. Stanley Smith, and that's one of the top, in the numbers. I think we got 15, 16 is the top right now. So you're right there with the top of the top 3 people here on MCF when it comes to this battle for raffle entries to see one of these 4 prizes from the Lunatic bringing it at you. So much love, Stanley Smith, the $5 holler, and the Go Cowboys there in the Cash App side of things. So let me take that away there. Stanley, there you go. I'm going to also fix the overall board in a minute, but I want to kind of quickly, and I know you have a little more information on this than I do, but going into, I guess this is more, it's not about the Eagle game. There's more Cowboy news, though, of course. Dak Prescott had a sit-down conversation with Jason Garrett, his first coach in the NFL. Dak Prescott basically preached a lot of team-first approach to his game and the way he plays and the way he treats the situation with the Cowboys. It was an NBC interview. Jason Garrett did the full interview. I mean, I don't know I guess they're going to show it probably before, in the pregame. But basically, Dak Prescott said a lot of things. I know you have maybe more context to these things, but I know I picked up a couple quotes.
I just have a few points to make, that's all.
Yeah, Dak said this. I'm always thinking if he's playing as well as he is now. He said, quote, there's a lot more in that direction that's in my head. I know the greatness that is there right in front of me. We've got an amazing team here. And, you go back to why is Dak in Dallas? You go back to late quarterback coach Wade Wilson, also former quarterback. He passed away recently, but he campaigned and pushed for the Cowboys to go grab Dak Prescott, from Mississippi State in the draft. And then Jason Garrett was a significant presence in not only ending up drafting him, but also the evolution of Dak, the beginnings of Dak. Garrett, again, you see some of the Garrettisms, in my opinion, in Dak Prescott, even to this day, but it's a lot less. It's been carved out, and that's good. So, but there is some stuff that's still the foundation of Dak here in Jason Garrett.
You have to admit that some of that relentlessly positive attitude definitely
comes from Garrett.
Feels like Jason Garrett definitely pushed him as well in that direction.
Yeah,
so
could be. Very, very well could. And, Garrett was also very committed to Dak Prescott. Go back to 2016 as a rookie. Very committed to having him remain the starter in those talks back behind the scenes. Garrett was a guy saying, no, Dak should continue this thing right now over Tony Romo at the time, even after Tony Romo was healthy. He was a big backer of Dak going forward that season with him. And again, some people are saying this is one of the best interviews. I do think it was a very good interview. I didn't expect that kind of good interview from Jason Garrett, but it was more the connection they had, I think. Ask the right kind of questions because they know each other.
The thing is that,
right?
Garrett also, because he was there for some of those early beginning moments, he was able to kind of draw out, I think, deeper answers because he was able to say, like, hey, I remember this specific rookie moment here where you're mentioning, you said that you always knew you'd be here in this moment, and, you could tell that one of the things that you've always said, Mr. MCF, is that Dak has always had, the mental capabilities of being a Cowboy quarterback because you do have to eat a lot of shit and deal with a lot of shit, right? I think, I'm going to mess this up, but I think Troy Aikman was the one that said that, that steak dinner comes with a lot of sides or something.
Yeah.
So, Dak has always had the mental fortitude to be able to handle being a Cowboy quarterback, but one of the things that even Garrett brought up is, like, I always liked how coachable you were. I think it really draws attention to the fact that Dak is very, very deeply influenced by whatever offensive scheme or coaching is happening around him, because he will listen. He will take it to heart. If you tell him to do this, he's going to do it. So, it is important that, part of his answers, too, when he was asked, like, hey, what happened after the Niners loss? Like, and he said it. He's like, honestly, we all were kind of surprised because we had worked really hard. We prepared really hard going into it. And then, he kind of admitted, like, they were playing a little bit soft there towards the end. Like, he's not really sure what happened there. But that, in the preparation after that, hey, shout out to Amazing Games with that $5 holler there. Ooh. Saying, my MCF trounce the She-Goals, go Cowboys. Yeah,
let's pluck these birds. Yes, much love, Amazing Games. Appreciate you. And by the way, with that 5, he's officially, it's official now, another raffle entry. I think if you add his membership, I think he's in a membership, that's 7 for him. So everyone's in this running. Anyone can win one of these 4 raffle prizes from the Lunatic. We're at the stretch run here, the finale,
we absolutely have to trounce the She-Goals.
Hell yeah.
So, my final little comment here is, my point is that Dak admitted that, changes had to be made after that Niners game because they thought they were doing everything right. And they were like, hell no, we're not. So we need to add more motion. We need to do this. We need to do that. We need to take this more seriously. This is going to be the kind of final evolution of that, right?
Yeah.
So just, I think it was a great interview. It was a good behind-the-scenes look into our quarterback and his mindset and his thinking.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, too. Definitely one of the better ones we've seen.
So, Tammy Sotis, Retro Scotty, what's up? Much love. Hey. Right, Seabass, a hussy. Man, we keep got to worry about hussies.
John Hussey, the freaking ref. Now, by the way, Mr. Lavelle, 90 points now representing Marcus Lawrence on that stream, boss. So I do want to kind of slide.
Yeah, back to you, baby, real quick.
Slide over to some of the, when I look over here at what's behind Dak and right in front of my face is the schedule and the next game here that we have against the Eagles. We know this, but if you want to look at the other games remaining out there, what could help the Cowboys' chances when it comes to clinching playoffs, when it comes to getting closer to the NFC East, really it's only one thing, and that's beating the Eagles. That's number one and only. And then, when it comes to other things like maybe Lions, the Niners, that kind of stuff. Like, if we keep the Lions with us, we actually want them to win because if there's a 3-way tie, we win tiebreaker. Over some of these situations. So we kind of want the Lions in the same mix there because we'd have to beat them somehow. But then they would never be able to really, they never, even if we beat them, there's no way they can catch us if we win out. So the point is, Lions over the Bears is kind of a question mark one in my mind. But the teams that would win, that would help us in these situations this Sunday and Monday, it would be the Falcons beating the Buccaneers, the Ravens beating the Rams, the Raiders beating the Vikings. Like I said, the Lions beating the Bears. Although that's one I have like this still kind of like, I don't know. The Panthers beating the Saints. The Seahawks beating the Niners. Obviously, that would be very helpful. And the Giants even. The Giants beating the Green Bay Packers. All these things. If these things happen, we clinch a playoff spot. I'm just saying. That's, to me, I'm looking at something farther down the line. Like, again, not far, what I mean by that is, like, I'm not looking at, trying to clinch the playoffs now.
Yeah.
I'm looking at see if we can catch Philadelphia Eagles. And that's the only thing that really matters right now. So, going on that side of things, kind of focusing on that, the Cowboys have an NFL best 14-game home winning streak right now. We can go fifth. This is week 14. I'm just going to say that. And we have a 14-game home winning streak. Dates back to this week 2 against the Bengals of last season. The Eagles have the highest road winning percentage in the NFL since hiring Nick Sirianni in 2021. On the road, they have a 78.3% chance of winning on the road. They're 18-5 on the road, which is top numbers there, right? So, again, we have a huge home winning streak. They have the best road streak, the best road record since Sirianni was hired 2 years ago. So that's going to be one there that we got to watch. someone's going to break there,
Those are
right?
two big records going head-to-head there.
Yeah. So, and I also want to throw in there, before I get to the referees, it's coming. Let me give a big shout-out to Stanley Smith. Why? Because Stanley dropped another 5 on it.
Woo!
With that, he adds himself another raffle entry. Like I had said a minute ago, if he was 5 away from that, he's got it again. Another one right there from Mr. Stanley Smith. Appreciate you as always. And as always, go Cowboys. He's up by 10 over David Shamet there for first place on the Cash App side. And by the way, not far back on some of the others here on the board, like Mary. He's right behind Mary and Skeptical Fan. he's like 10 back on both of them. So that's just another little goal there to pass them up. And then Jason Renfro's the only one in his sights on the overall board, as you see right above my head going through there. So actually, this is the gifting board. So you can, reset that. But anyways, as Skeptical has 14 gifted memberships, the Cowboys have a 14 home winning streak. When it comes to this referee, I have to say, it definitely is worrisome, but at the same time, I don't really think of it. I think of just something we have to overcome when you're the Cowboys, and dealing with refs anyway has always been an issue.
Let's just hope that it's one of those games where we play on the cleaner side of things. Like we know the refs are going to probably call a few extra flags, a few things here, there, but for the most part, please, let's just try to play as clean a game as possible.
I mean, when you look at the numbers for the home refs, for John Hussey and his crew, home division teams, this is a divisional game. Home division teams are 33 wins, 14 losses, and 2 ties.
Okay.
When this guy is the referee, John Hussey. All right, that's a 70% chance of winning in a home division game with this referee. That's the best home record for any referee in that span. So that's what's on our side if you look at these shitty refs here, right? But he's also, the Eagle ref, so to speak. Philadelphia is undefeated. They are 7-0 when this referee, John Hussey, was the head ref for the games. The last 2 games for Philadelphia, listen to this. The last 2 games for Philly with this ref, John Hussey, 6 penalties on Philly, 21 penalties on opponents.
Jesus Christ.
And just an overall number on the Eagles. Remember, they only have 4 holding penalties called on them all season long, combined, every referee. So don't expect any breaks from the refs. We have to overcome the front office mistakes and whatever other mistakes out there we have to always deal with. The media. We got to overcome the opponent on the field, the Eagles. We got to overcome the referees. If they miss a call, say, yep, we expect that, and move on.
I actually have to say the opposite.
All right.
I hope to see our Cowboys Micah frickin' Parsons loud. I want to play an almost soccer-like exaggeration of bitching, moaning, and complaining for flags, not because I think it's warranted, but because, man, I hate to say it, but I am tired of saying when they go low, you go high. I'm sorry, if they're going to go low, I'm going to go even fucking lower. We're not going to go out here and play some crappy, hurt you first football. But man, we can do open our mouths as the biggest team with the biggest stage and the biggest audience. Guess what? The more that we keep continuing to complain about it, the more people are going to see it, and it's going to become so blatantly obvious that at some point they have to say or do something. That's how I feel at this point, because guess what? Keeping our mouths shut and trying to be the noble ones here is getting us absolutely fucking nowhere. But guess what happens every once in a while when you complain about a flag? Every once in a while, the refs go from Ray Charles to Squinty McSquinterson. And sometimes through that little squint, they see a hold or a horse collar or heck, even a roughing the passer, which happens once every turn of the century. So...
Yeah, I mean...
And honestly, it does make me feel a little bit sick because on a philosophical and personal level, I am much more of the suck it up and take it, deal with that shit. But at the same time, I'm not exactly one to keep my mouth shut either. So, it's those two things are conflicting with each other now. And I think at this point, we have nothing left to lose by opening our mouths and saying or doing something. So especially with the way that some of our players are being so blatantly held. Like, look at Micah. He did it for a year and a half. He kept his mouth shut. And you know what it got him? More holds. More holds.
Well, here's an example. Just watch this from the
anyway, I'm done kind of ranting about that. Just had to kind of let it out there for a second because it is a little bit ridiculous, isn't it?
A lot ridiculous, I do admit. By the way, I hope it works. Let me see. Does it work? It doesn't work. Tomorrow I'll have a referee emoji for you guys to just put your displeasures out there. I will have a referee emoji tomorrow.
And it sucks, too, because I do think that being a referee is an extremely difficult job. You know, it's not easy to see things. Thank goodness we do have things like replay or film that can give us some clarity and some light on certain things. And I admit that I don't know all the intricacies of all the rules of football. But I don't think I need to know intricacies to see
an actual obvious hold.
Or certain other things, or if it's not, then maybe we should be having more maybe that's something the NFL should invest more in, some off-season clarifications on why certain plays get called in certain ways. Just throwing that out there for free.
They just never seen, and not just Ray Charles style, but they just never seen a player like Micah Parsons. He's just too damn fast.
So, exactly. We're not here to play zebra ball. We're here to play football. So back to you, baby.
All right, so. Leaving the refs in the dust, we have to I don't mind the not just complaining. I don't mind the hey refs, open your eyes kind of discussions during the game by the players, but in the end we have to understand they're going to call probably a favorable game for the Eagles. Accept that, move on. Know we're going to get screwed on a couple plays. Overcome that if you're the Cowboys. That's the way I'm thinking about it. We got to overcome those bad calls. Now, what's going to be the roster status for some of our players? Are we getting some guys fined? Are we getting some guys suspended? Are there some roster moves? Who's getting elevated? I'll tell you right now. Last week against last Thursday against the Seahawks, safeties Jamal Adams and safety Quandre Diggs, they hit Ferguson on that first down. It was a 3rd and 10, and Ferguson got the dump down from Dak, and he got enough yards, got over that first down marker, got us to a 1st and goal. On that play, Jamal Adams and Quandre Diggs both, they hit him hard. He got hit, and it looked like a headshot there from Quandre Diggs, but afterwards, Jamal Adams got in his face. Each were fined $10,927 for unsportsmanlike conduct for their engagement with tight end James Ferguson last week in the second quarter. Then Jake Ferguson got up, put the first down, like his hand right in their face, and kind of walked into them. That was, again, Quandre Diggs kind of getting shoved a little bit there. And then you had Jamal Adams come back and get in his face. Jamal Adams smacks, kind of takes a swing at Ferguson and hits him in the helmet there. Ferguson was also fined for being in the involvement of that fight, or that fracas, $5,812. Neither players, neither of all three of these players, none of these three players drew a penalty for that play during the game. If anything, Jamal Adams smacking the player should have been ejection, in my opinion, or at least thrown out, at least a penalty.
Yeah, and Dillon said it hit to the head.
Yeah,
missed by the blind refs.
Yeah, and again they gave them the fine now, no penalties in that play, and no penalties against Ferguson either, which I think he was the least issue of the three players. Anyways, you get a little excited, you put the first down. That's okay, but for them to not call a cheap hit or a smack in the face. That to me surprised me in the game that they didn't do that.
By the way, if you happen to be in the Dallas area tomorrow and you're saying, hey, I think I want to go see that Dallas Cowboy game, hit up Amazing Games in the chat. Looks like he has 2 tickets available.
Wow.
You know it's legit because the man Amazing Games is always coming through. So.
Man, that is shit. I wish I was in Dallas. That out there. That would be awesome to go to. What a game that would be, guys. You don't want to miss your chance.
So Seabass is going to be at that game, and guys, if you are going to be at that game, make sure to do your part, and especially for me, who lost my voice for almost an entire week after that game.
That's true. Against the Rams.
Give an extra shout or two for the MCF.
Make sure you give that roar right there.
No hey, commentary. Cowboys said, let's win this fucking game. Cowboys need this W. Let's go.
Yeah, now we're getting more hyped here.
DeLunatic throwing out there as well. Big Mike better have a long conversation with the blind zebras and Filthy's right tackle and his false starts. And our own. By the way, because we, on both sides of our O-line and D-line, we've been a little bit jumpy, and even we have to admit that.
I agree, but what specifically is the Lane Johnson, that quick, every time, guys, he gets off, Right tackle Lane Johnson always just leaves early. It's on film. It happened over and over again. The refs didn't call it. They need to keep an eye on that. And I agree with the Lunatic. This has to be brought to their attention, even if they know it already. Bring it to their attention again that we're watching for it too. And our players, when if you're gonna call us for being in the neutral zone, you gotta, because Lane Johnson moves a half a second first. Either call the flag on Lane Johnson or let the play go. That's it. I mean, they got to go one or the other on that one.
Oh, right. And that's why I said exactly what I said, Seabass. We can't sit there and just allow ourselves to keep being held without maybe,
making more of a point about it
and bitching about it a little bit.
Agree.
So
the refs,
they're going to hear us at least.
Yeah. I want to hear the family there roaring. Right? Seabass and everybody that's going to be at this game, amazing games. I want to hear them screaming and yelling, repping that star for everything against these filthy fucking Eagles.
That's right, Jason Renfro. So the Lunatic, they say player safety. They don't actually care, right? When it comes to Hurts' concussion or the Ferguson hit, right?
Yeah, or what happened with T.J. Watt, even you can say, So, anyways, back to the Cowboys here real quick, because who's going to be in this game? We talked about Ferguson's not suspended; he just got fined. Again, he wasn't going to get suspended. But movement on the roster, just one elevation. The Eagles elevated nobody. They're good with their 53. We elevated Princeton Fant for the second straight week. He's a tight end. Remember, guys, no Sean McEwen.
Yeah.
Let me explain. The move with Princeton Fant from the practice squad just for this one game, like we did last week. He played against, wasn't it his brother last week, wasn't it? I think against... the Seahawks, Noah Fant's over there. He went from Denver to Seattle. So, I guess his cousin over there. So he was over there, they got elevated him for that game. Now, second straight week, he gets elevated for this game from the practice squad. Second of his 3 maximum elevations we can use him for.
So one more.
Yep. Peyton Hendershot, of course, being activated to the 53-man roster off the IR. And we put Sean McEwen, don't have him anymore, for 4 weeks. With the ankle injury, or it was just a slight ankle injury, just enough to put him on the injured reserve for 4 weeks. That's the switch there. Hendershot in, McEwen out.
Yep.
And now, with 3 total tight ends, we want to always have that 4th one in there. That's why now Princeton Fant is now our 4th one for the game tomorrow. He mainly played special teams. There's not a lot of special teams ability. Last week there was not many. We didn't punt, and there was not many.
So there weren't really many special team opportunities.
He didn't get many chances to play last week, so he figures to be busier this game, where he's gonna have a lot more probably defense and punting and stuff against the Eagles. And he had his NFL debut was literally last week. He only played 15 special team snaps on kickoff and kickoff returns. There was 14 touchbacks, so he just ran down the field 14 times out of the 15. So, and the game had no punts, of course. So that Noah Fant gets another chance. Princeton Fant gets another chance to get some reps there on special teams. Now, let's get into this Eagle game, because this is, again, when it comes to the Cowboys and this and our offense, I'm going to say this: both sides really, both Cowboys and the Eagles rank in the top 4 in pressuring the quarterback. So Dak, Jalen Hurts. This is where both the defenses are very good at getting pressure on the quarterback. All right? The Cowboys lead the NFL with a 45.7 quarterback pressure percentage. So we're going to get the Hurts. That's even with their good pass block, their good offensive line. The Eagles are not that good in pass protection. They're the best at run blocking, but pass protection they're weak. So we're number 1 in pressure. We should stay at that number 50 half the time or more. Jalen Hurts should be pressured by our Cowboy defense. And again, they will bring pressure. They're not great in the secondary, but they will bring pressure in the pass defense. And they will be able to hurt us that way, so we got to stay alert on that. So, when you look at the Cowboys and Eagles, they're the only 2 teams in the NFL with more than 3 combined all-pro selections on the offensive line. On offense or on our offensive line or their offensive line. The Cowboys have 8, 6 from Zach Martin, 2 from Tyron Smith. The Eagles have 7. Jason Kelsey has 5. Lane Johnson has 2. Now, when I look at this, I look at guys like number 7 as a key factor. I'm going to talk about him a little later as an X factor. But Hassan Reddick, this to me is one of those things that, when you look at this pregame, a little breakdown here, this is a guy that's going to give us problems, not because Tyron Smith's going to be fine against him. It's going to be Terrence Steele. So Terrence Steele surrendered. You got to remember, the offensive line last time he played the Eagles surrendered I think each player on the Cowboys allowed at least 3 pressures. Everyone on this offensive line, guys, allowed at least 3 pressure against the entire defensive line of the Eagles. So they will get pressure. They will get in there. But Terrence Steele surrendered 8 pressures and led to a combined 18 pressures as the entire offensive line unit against this Philadelphia Eagle defense. So the pressure numbers, whether it's us versus them, we'll get to them. We're number 1. But they really did damage with us last time, pressuring the quarterback. And that's where Dak needs protection from his offensive line. When you look at this matchup of quarterbacks, whether it's Dak or Jalen Hurts, it'll be the 5th matchup since 2010 between the current passing touchdown leader, which is Dak Prescott, and the outright quarterback rushing touchdown leader, which is Jalen Hurts. This has happened. This has only happened 4 times. I think, what did I say, 4 times? 5th time that it's happened December or later. At the previous 4 meetings, the passing touchdown leader, which would be Dak in this one here, has won the game. Dak was on the losing end of one of these games, guys, when it was the other way around. He was saying Aaron Rodgers unfortunately beat us in the divisional round.
Yeah.
That killer game in his rookie year in 2016. That's one of those situations where Dak was the rushing touchdown leader when it came to quarterbacks, and Aaron Rodgers was the passing touchdown leader. So the passing touchdown leader usually wins. Well, Dak's got an advantage there over Jalen Hurts. Just saying, just throwing it out there. Now, what about? Let me just go to us for a second here, and more importantly, let me go to, I guess, the coach of our team, Mike McCarthy, who's back from that appendicitis surgery. He could make history, not just with getting on the field so fast, but if the Cowboys finish the season as the top scoring offense, it'd be the 4th time a Mike McCarthy-led offense has topped the NFL. That'd be the first time a coach in history to lead multiple franchises to multiple seasons as the top scoring offense. So yeah, again, he had 2 times with Green Bay. Now this would be he has one already with the Cowboys under Kellen Moore. This would be the second one he would have if we stay the top scoring offense, which is 32.3 points per game or something like that. And again, building a wall as far as the pressure rate. Now, like I said, both defensive lines get pressure on the other side. Very good at getting pressure, but the Cowboys overall on offense have allowed the second lowest pressure rate on Dak's dropbacks this season. Only 27.6% of the time Dak has had pressure, which is very low, guys. Second lowest in the NFL. Tyron Smith, only 6% pressure rate. Tyler Smith, 4.6%. Zach Martin, 5.1%. And that's lockdown numbers. That's like top 10 guys. All these guys rank inside the top 3 of their position groups for pressure rate allowed. So when it comes to even though we're not, we are much better as an overall pass protection offense than the Eagles are. So when you have Tyron Smith, Tyler Smith, and Zach Martin, it's like they're the best of the business right there, guys. Protecting Dak Prescott, keeping the pressure off of Dak. Although last game they did horrible against the Eagles. That was the big thing there, right? So the Eagles right now have been outgained by their opponents. So this is McCarthy in the offense now, right? They've been outgained in the last 5 games. It hasn't just been the tough ones. There's been some easier ones too. The Eagles won their first 4 in this stretch, and of course they got killed by San Francisco last week, but they're the first team in NFL history to win 4 straight games when they were outgained by at least 50 yards or more in each of those games. Again, they did not produce the yardage or the statistics that should warrant them to win 4 out of 5 games. They got lucky. They played hard. They won. They're going to probably play similar like that in this game. We cannot sit here and not take this game personal. We got to go out there and wring their necks, and I hope sooner than later, from the start, faster, not slow starts. Again, the Cowboys have only been outgained in 1 game this entire year. Week 5 against the Niners when they blew us the fuck out 42-10. So Dak Prescott now, all right, in the zone. And again, he is throwing against the zone, throwing against man. He's dominating both. He is in the zone. Prior to the bye week, before the big changes, after that Charger game, we still were kind of morphing. Prior to the bye week, Dak had 0 touchdowns and 3 interceptions against zone coverage. Since the break, since I said we need to redo something here with the scheme, Dak has exploded for a league-high 10 touchdowns against zone coverage and has not thrown 1 interception against it. He's slicing and dicing, not just man, not just blitzes, but now zone coverage because of the McCarthy scheme change at the bye week. And it's going to show again this week against a very poor secondary of the Eagles. What about the slot? That's what I'm talking. I want to work the slot. I know it sounds kind of nasty, but we got to get nasty in this game. And Dak's going to work the slot with CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb leads the NFL in receiving yards from the slot. 615 yards and 5 touchdowns. That's number 1 in the NFL from the slot position there at receiver. But he's also dominated the entire NFL in that category since a rookie. Mm-hmm. He leads the league with the most slot receiving yards since he was drafted in 2020 with 2,617. He's the king of the slot. Just saying. And by the way, back to Dak Prescott here, throwing those passes to CeeDee Lamb. The connection is great, but Dak is the only quarterback to complete over 60% of his passes while under pressure this year. Other guys have gotten pressured. No one's completed 60% of their passes or more when they've been pressured. So Dak's doing it on third downs. He's doing it deep. He's doing it when he's pressured. Under pressure, Dak ranks first in completion percentage under pressure again amongst all quarterbacks. 64.5% of the time he completes the pass. Under pressure, he's number 1 in passer rating, 103.5. And then you get the CPOE, plus 10.8, according to Next Gen Stats. Number 1 there, too. Again, under pressure, Dak is the best. Over 10 yards since the break, the best. I mean, again, guys, the touchdown interception ratio. Again, I know we had some easier teams. We played the Eagles. And again, they have a bad pass defense. We played the Panthers. Good pass defense. Yeah. You see, it was trouble, but he didn't make any mistakes. Still led us to a win. So when we look at these things, we gave you the overview here, but what are the true keys to this game here? All right? Because it's going to come down to our offensive line. We got to cook these fucking Eagles, these birds. You know what I mean? No matter what, no matter what you think as a Cowboy fan who should be a quarterback, the head coach, the whoever. Important things to note is we got to cook them up this game. The E-girls got to go down. Fuck the Eagles, and let's make sure that we see a lot of the Eagle tears, right, baby? I see you're smiling right there.
I know.
As they're crying. Hell yeah.
It does put a big smile on my face to see that.
I'm going to leave it like that for a little bit. So when it comes to a key factor in this game, and I said it before this week, and I'll say it again, baby, Terrence Steele. Number 78 must produce. You see him in the picture, the thumbnail of this picture. He's got to produce.
Terrence Steele, not aluminum foil.
Yes. That would make this guy on the left cry. Cry, Eagles, cry. Because, simple as this, Terrence Steele there needs to protect Dak Prescott, and it's going to be Hassan Reddick, number 7, that we have to watch. You got to remember there's also Brandon Graham. There's other guys there also, like, Josh Sweat. They gave us a lot of trouble, sacked Dak. Terrence Steele is at fault for most of these, a high percentage of these pressures and sacks. In Week 9, Terrence Steele had his worst game of the season, allowing 12 pressures, 4 sacks in one game. Against, and again, Dak took these sacks, 28-23, 5-point barely loss, shoot ourselves in the foot kind of game in Philly. Then the final drive came back, that killed our drive. Got us out the red zone, and then it was just, they just had to make the tackle on CLM to end the game. But since then, Terrence Steele has rebounded better. He's allowed, again, lesser teams, but still rebounded better. Allowed just 12 pressures total in the last 4 games, along with allowing 0 sacks. So Terrence Steele, you got to do better than last time. That if he does not do better, guys, it's going to be a struggle.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you guys.
In for a long night.
So he must do better. Now, is he going to be perfect? No. But, he allows a sack and, 4 pressures. I can deal with that. That's it, though. That's it. That is fucking it. Steele has faced most of his issues when he lines up against number 7, Hassan Reddick. Also, a lot of issues when he lines up against Brandon Graham. These 2 guys combined for 3 of those 4 sacks and 10 pressures in the last game on Dak Prescott. So there's still redemption. And hopefully, Terrence Steele's fucking head heading into this week. And it'll be fulfilled by limiting these defensive Eagle frontline guys, defensive edge rushers. It would be major for him to do that. And that's why Terrence Steele is an X factor. Terrence Steele is an X factor in this game. Has to be revenge-minded in this game. You got to take it personal. It's an embarrassment what happened. This is an embarrassment what happened to Terrence Steele. The last time they played, guys. Probably the worst game he's played since his rookie year. 4 sacks, 12 pressures. I don't want to talk about it. But It depends which group.
You got to do better.
PFF or next gen. One says 8, the other one says 12. We know he allowed 4 sacks. It's horrible how you slice it. It's horrible. So with that in his mind, the Eagles now have proof of what they're doing is successful against him. They know how to beat Terrence Steele. Right? I mean, the Eagles are going to look for ways to exploit this, as opposed to just trying, basically, rather than just trying to get across the line, they're going to put attention on attacking the wound they see, and they're calling Terrence Steele on our Cowboy offensive line, and they're going to see how he responds, and if the Cowboys, how are we going to respond to this? Now we know it's coming. We also know they've been beating us, right? The combination of Hassan Reddick, Josh Sweat, Brandon Graham, these guys represent a huge challenge that Terrence Steele and the rest of the offense has to be prepared for. The Eagles smell blood. How does Terrence Steele respond is going to go a long way in shaping the outcome of this game. But my extra bonus key to this is I got to see the Cowboys use some tight ends to pick, to help double team, to help whatever it takes. Put Schoonmaker instead of going out this time. I don't see him getting the ball that they're throwing to him too often. We got 2 tight ends. Schoonmaker, help out the right side. Help out whoever it is. I don't care if it's Brandon Graham, if it's Sweat. I don't care if it's Hassan Reddick. You chip him. You block him for another extra second, whatever it fucking takes. You got to lock it down because Terrence Steele cannot have the same issues or we will have a struggle game on offense. And that could be the only reason that happens. Because their pass defense sucks. If they get to Dak, it fucks with us attacking their secondary. So it's got to, Terrence Steele listen, I'm confident about the left side. Confident about Zach Martin. I'm okay with the help that Biotish has on his left and right side from Tyler Smith and Zach Martin, that he can keep it together for the most part. But I don't have confidence in Terrence Steele specifically against these Eagles. So we got to be ready. Okay, you could give him a chance a couple times. If he breaks down, you got to fucking be ready and helping him. So I hope McCarthy in this very important week has gathered something to, hey, let's chip block him with the running back. Rico Dowdle, Tony Pollard, Schoonmaker, Ferguson, whoever the fuck ever. Get over there, chip number 7, or whoever's on that side against Terrence Steele, especially if you see him having problems. Then you don't wait for halftime for that. You do it now. Immediately. If you see it happening in the first quarter, you do it first quarter, and you get the help right there. You have something in place, planned already to do this. What do you think about this X factor moment from our offense versus their defense? What do you think? What do you think, baby?
I mean, again, co-signed, agree. I don't really have too much to say until we get to our, more, bold predictions and stuff like that.
This is an X factor.
I'm just saying, I agree. I said, I know it makes for, a boring kind of
it's
point there.
Well, I'm sure everybody agrees.
I wanted to hit up the chat specifically, though, just because Amazing Game said the X factor, Jake Ferguson.
Well, Ferguson plays into this, but you know what you don't get? You don't get Jake Ferguson if Hassan Reddick is disrupting the play. They're getting 18 pressures and 4 sacks.
X factors, Ferg and Cooks.
No, I mean, I agree. I agree with you guys. We got other guys that they don't become X factors though, without Terrence Steele. I mean, do you guys understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Or fixing that situation. We have no Ferguson. We have no Brandon Cooks. If there's an issue with the right side of Terrence Steele will decide this game for us on offense. If he can hold it down, or if he has issues and we help him. That's the way you can then turn Ferguson and Cooks into the X factors that they are. They are X factors, but it starts with Terrence Steele. It's got to happen. It's got to happen, or else the other stuff ain't happening. But keep hitting me. I love hearing different viewpoints because there's a lot of X factors. But I have to pick one, and that's the one I picked.
So, and yeah, Snug X. We'll see. I might make an appearance there. Seabass saying, Pollard and Schoon have to step up with the blocks to assist Steele. I know Hassan will get through.
Yes, that is the key. Key right there. Who said that?
Seabass.
You mentioned
Scotty also adding in there. Better give Steele some help and have a tight end beside him.
Exactly. And I say Schoonmaker, the number 2, the blocking guy. The guy you don't throw too often. Leave him in there. Hey, sometimes they're going to assume he's always blocking. He can catch too, so you can use him in that way and kind of a game plan tweak. Let him block, and help. And then once in a while, you have him as another blanket for Dak. That'll give us a nice 5 to 7 or more yard run because no one's even caring about Schoonmaker at that point in the game for the Eagles. So just some ideas there. Yes, that's what you do. You use your running backs and tight ends to help Terrence Steele if he can't hang on his own in that first quarter.
Agreed. Asmodeus, what's up? Amazing Games. O-line must win first. So, yeah, I mean, again, nothing happens if Terrence Steele doesn't at least halfway do his job, right?
He's got to be better.
That help next to him is only going to do so much if he absolutely blows his coverage, right? Right?
He's got to be better, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
If he listen, I'm not saying he's gonna be perfect. Just be better, and you'll have Ferguson and Cooks be the X factors.
JD from DC said chip with Ferguson.
Chip,
exactly,
yes,
because that's my point. If you're expecting Ferguson to go in there and somehow play right tackle, you're in for a bad time.
Exactly.
Like Terrence Steele has to do his job. Other people can do their jobs and help him. But no one else can go out there and play right tackle but Terrence Steele if he's the guy who's out there. If not, then
you gotta give him
scrap
help.
the experiment, throw in the backup, and pray. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
you bring him help, right?
I'm making a joke. I'm just saying that, like, if even with help, he clearly can't do the job, then like, why is he even out there?
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? If he plays that badly, then get him out of there.
He had a bad game. I hope he's better. He's definitely shown better in the last 4 weeks. You know what I mean? But right now, you cannot scrap Terrence Steele in the middle of a game like this. You just got to give him help. I know you're making a joke, but I'm saying you got to give him help here. Now, I also think that, when you look at, I want to switch it up for, again, I don't know if any other comments in there about this specific situation when it comes to Terrence Steele.
Yeah, Dulantic saying, chip this, wham, bam, block that.
Boom.
How about just let Steele eat and run to his side?
Listen, you can do that too. We can run on that side. Duo blocking is working nice with him and Zach Martin. But I also think that, I think that we have to make sure we can do it. We know and they know that's a weakness now. So I think that if you chip them, even if it delays the pass rush by, a third of a second, that's enough. That's all we need. The chip is all we need. A chip, it delays our route, but it gives the whole entire play and all the other players, the other X factors, a chance to do their thing, even if it slows down the guy who's chipping and helping out on Terrence Steele's guy.
Yeah.
That's worth it for the extra, half a second you're going to get. It's worth it. So that's the way I see it. That's more important than anything else for our offense in this game. To do that, of course, starting off not slow and attacking down the field, doing everything we've been doing, the play action, the motion, all that. But the additional thing we got to do, and we got to make sure in this game specific, Terrence Steele is on it. This is the number one thing we got to worry about, in my opinion, to get everything else going. That's all. Now, when you flip it over, our last point of this night here, guys, I'm going to talk about our defense against their offense in a quick kind of overall thing. Our defense here, I want to actually throw up, Micah and this defense, what we've been doing. Mainly, this is last year's video, but man, you guys want to realize a crazy thing that came up. I was looking at things. The Cowboy defense is totally different when we're on grass, man. When we're high on grass. No, I'm not saying smoking weed. I'm talking about when you were playing on a football field with a grass field. The Cowboys defense is different. We're not as good.
That sucks. 2
of our final 5 games are scheduled to be settled on natural grass. 2 of them. All right? You got the Dolphins, I think, play on natural grass, and the Commanders are on natural grass. So, again, those are our last 2, those are 2 out of 5 games. It seems like maybe it's not a big deal, but it does slow down the Cowboy defense. On turf, we are faster than on grass. The offensive playmakers and play callers, when it comes to the opposition, now Quinn has to consider not just them and what they're planning, but also, the field here. It's slowing. Yeah, if we are slowed down by that a little bit, and it's enough to make a difference in some of the plays that we're calling, then we have to find some other kind of loophole here to figure it out when we're on grass fields to keep that edge. So, when you go towards the playoffs right now, we're looking at, of course, we're going to be in the playoffs. You're going to be playing on a lot of grass fields. You got Eagles, you got the Niners. So I'm just saying, right now, as you march towards the playoffs, we'll see if it's going to be a deciding factor in things. I don't think the grass versus turf is the deciding factor, but it obviously slows down the defense a hair. And is that enough to diffuse what we got going sometimes when we have this great defense? What about the playoffs? That's the one I'm looking at the most going forward, more than the regular season. If the Cowboys end up a wild card teams, the 2 teams that really stand in front of us are Philadelphia and San Francisco, both on grass fields. And all 3 losses this year, Cardinals game in Arizona, grass field. The Niners in San Francisco, grass field. The Eagles in Philly, grass field. You guys feel me on this? I'm not saying it's the reason, only reason, but we obviously have slowed down. We also gave up 371 total defensive yards each game there on average. That's despicable by this defense. Last year, listen to this. Last year, 5 of our 6 losses. 5 of our 6 losses last year. Guess.
On grass?
Grass. Yeah. So the defense has been an issue on grass.
Okay.
By a little bit, it's still enough to make a big difference. On turf, our defense is a monster. So again, Dan Quinn has his work cut out for him. 2 of the last 5 games in the regular season, playoff games, possibly, probably, maybe all on grass fields. I'm just throwing it out there, guys. Think about it, right?
Now I have to.
We won a playoff game last year in Tampa on a grass field last year.
CP29, thank you for subbing it up.
Much love, appreciate you, and go Cowboys. CP29.
But Seabass saying hi on grass, cracking up FCF. Lunatic said commodes play on crap grass just like their stadium. JD from DC said, I work my hardest on grass. Come on, Cowboys.
I know, but it's
Lunatic said they were on the grass.
They're on the grass. No, it's not about that. It's not about the ability to. I think grass is safer overall for the players, but it slows down the defense.
I was just about to say, it sounds like that initial burst is just not as present when we're playing on natural grass. It's harder to get. Like, obviously, we're still fast, but there's a difference between speed and acceleration, and that initial burst of acceleration, that little get off, it seems like we're a little slower on that side of things, which obviously affects a lot of our playing style, considering that getting in there hard and fast is pretty much like our entire defensive line strategy.
Yeah,
like,
listen,
as far as like if you're really simplifying it, obviously.
Micah and this defense it's all relied on speed.
Joe Diskin said practice on sand. I know we've seen a handful of our players do that during the offseason. But not a bad idea as far as like something in general moving forward. Like that initial burst definitely needs to try to be maintained. I mean, other teams obviously manage to do it on grass all the time, so maybe it's a cleats issue. Maybe we do need to wear different cleats. Or like, I don't freaking know.
No, listen, that's why this is on. In the end, it has to be on to Daniel Quinn, DQ, right? So, Dan Quinn, I just want to throw it out there. But this game, guys, hold on. This game against the Eagles in Dallas, and it ain't no grass field, it's turf. Next week against the Bills in Buffalo on turf. And then we go, to Miami in the sun, and it's on grass. Then you go back to Dallas against the Lions on turf, and then the last game of the year on grass at Washington to get us ready for the playoffs, whoever it is, wherever we're at. So just saying, this game is on turf, so we're going to be running that fast defense. The Eagles on offense are going to see our defense a lot faster than they did when we were in Philadelphia 5 weeks ago. Yeah. So let me just put that out there. This is the first things first. But I got to watch number 0. Okay, to me, we know the good players. We know it's Jalen Hurts. We know it's A.J. Brown. But to me, a hidden X factor is DeAndre Swift. Because I know you guys maybe are sick of me saying this, but I'm a little worried still. I'm always worried about our run defense. So DeAndre Swift with Jalen Hurts there, right? Not a secret. The Eagles, what they want to do on offense. They want to use their elite let me just say it this way. They have an elite. This is the number 1 offensive line in the league, especially when you look at the run blocking. They want to use their elite offensive line to lean on you, like the Niners kind of did in the past to us, right? They want to kind of do the same thing, try to grind the team down. We already know, and I'm going to say this again, we've seen them take 3 or 4 shots at Micah on the same play at times, the Eagles, just to wear him down. In a play that has nothing to do with Micah. He's just on the other side of the field. They hit him anyways because they want to make sure he gets weakened. So we know what the Eagles plan to do to try to wear down our defense. And they're going to try to do it running the ball. Try not to hurt Jalen Hurts too much. Bang him up running. He's going to run sometimes, and they're going to focus on number 0, trying to establish and keep the ground game going. Of course, if our offense gets points and our defense gets a couple stops, now it makes the ground game evaporate. Of course, that's the best way of getting rid of the ground game. But let's say they stay in this thing and keep committed to the ground. The main guy they're going to feed is DeAndre Swift, who when he's doing well, they cannot be beat. They lean on the run game, and you just can't stop them when DeAndre Swift is really rolling. They have the ability to throw the ball in the air. We know this with Jalen Hurts. They have good pass catchers, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown. Now they, of course, get Dallas Goedert back from the injury. So we know they're going to have some X factors out there. But DeAndre Swift is really the guy that is the way they want to run their offense. They don't want to be high flying. They want to be, hey, let's ground and pound with DeAndre Swift. That's what they want to do against our defense. Because we do have one of the best pass defenses, not just pass rushing, but defensive backs in the NFL. So do they want to fuck with us that way? Probably not. Even though they can kind of beat us here and there, they're gonna sometimes lose. It's gonna be if they can get the ground game going, they will try to control the game that way. So that's why I think him being kind of an X factor, DeAndre Swift, to control the line of scrimmage is major for the Cowboys with Hankins and our linebackers to slow down the Eagles' rushing attack. And if we do that, it will force the Eagles to have to beat us in the air. I want us to stop the ground game. I want our defense to stop DeAndre Swift. And, of course, when Jalen Hurts runs in a scripted play, a RPO, one guy runs one way, one guy runs the other. I want our Cowboys to stop the run game, commit to stopping the run, and then let the pass rush do the magic. By then, if our defense can stop the run, the first quarter and a half, can our offense put up 17, 21 points in that time frame? If we do that, we control the game. Now we can just sit back, relax, and let our defense do what they do best, attack. Because they ain't going to run as much anymore. And that's why I think that is such a big part of our I know it's always easy to say, Micah, get 20 sacks, but stop the run. Ooh, then we might get some sackage going there in a real way. Some real pressure that turns the ball over. Forces interceptions and fumbles on Jalen Hurts. So, again, the Eagles have the talent to beat us in the air in other ways. Don't get me wrong. But if we're able to slow their ground attack down, they become more one-dimensional, and it helps the deep. I say always help Dak. If you run a certain scheme for Dak, play to his skill set, you help Dak be a better quarterback. You're seeing that now, finally. Same thing goes for defense. If you slow down the ground game, the Cowboy defense will look better than we have been definitely the last bunch of weeks. So, yeah, defense is major here, stopping the ground game. And when they throw the ball, guess what? We got to attack with Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons versus Jordan Mailata. And that's going to be a matchup we're going to have to keep our eyes on at left tackle. The blind side of Jalen Hurts there. He is a right-handed quarterback, right? Or left-handed? He's right-handed, right?
He's right-handed.
Yeah, okay. So, again, the blind side is going to be Jordan Mailata is going to be the left tackle. Micah's going to go against him and Lane Johnson. Both guys a lot. JD in the house from DC in enemy territory. Dropping that 5 on it.
Woo!
Much love to JD from DC, who, by the way, let me see. I think he's got himself another entry. He does. That officially puts him at 3+ membership. If he's got membership,
yes, he does.
He's got 4 raffle entries in this 4-prize raffle coming up tomorrow night, halftime of this game. What did JD from DC say, baby?
He said, "Get them out of 3rd and 2."
Exactly. That's Dan Quinn saying the easiest 100% way to stop the tush push and brotherly shove shit, whatever they do. Best way, don't allow 3rd and 4th and shorts.
Don't put yourself in a position where a booty shove, exactly, one of those brotherly shoves ends up getting them a first down.
Exactly. So that's what you do not want to let that happen. So stop them from letting from happening. That's the key there. You know what I mean? So any other quick thoughts? Well, again, I guess I'm going to go back here for a minute on defense for Micah Parsons. And let me actually put Micah up on the screen here. Boom, right over everyone. I know we got 2 Micahs now. But Micah Parsons versus their left tackle, Jordan Mailata. Micah has not found many people stop him this year. Let's be real about it. But neither has the Eagles, Jordan Mailata, had issue. He stopped everybody that come his way as a left tackle. Mm-hmm. So, and he's defended elite pass rushers. Back in Week 9, Mailata got the best of Micah Parsons. Again, they had 13 battles against each other. And Micah only got 1 pressure. When he went up against Jordan Mailata. So again, guys, this is the Defensive Player of the Year candidate right here. And they stopped him against, just this one guy stopped him, right? Mailata, left tackle, we got to stay on him. He's coming off 2 horrible games, though. All right?
Okay.
He allowed 14 pressures on Jalen Hurts in these last 2 games. And he's now needing a rebound. Is this the guy to do it against? I doubt it. And again, Micah's averaging over 7 pressures per game since that loss to the Eagles in Week 9. So Micah's been on kind of a new push here.
Streak.
Yeah, he's on his new, but he's also got a purpose here And I'm telling you, take it personal, Mike. I know he didn't take it personal against the Niners. Take this shit personal. Mariota has got to be dominated by Micah Parsons this week. Of course, we know the athleticism that Micah brings. At times, though, he will struggle. I think sometimes when it comes to I'm sorry, let me say, yeah, Micah, when he has a guy like Mariota who's really an overpowering, strong offensive lineman, he will have an issue maybe getting around these guys at times. Mariota is 6'8". 6'8", 365 pounds. This is a big, huge human being. And Micah, again, he needs to, by Dan Quinn, I don't know if you guys are saying it in the chat, he needs to be moved around on a defensive line, move him over the A-gap, over the center, guards, move him to Lane Johnson sometimes, not just Mariota the whole game, all right? So when you do watch Micah and Mariota go at it, it's going to be, I want to see how Micah does when he's rushing from his right side against the Eagles' left side. That's going to be something to keep an eye on in this game. A very important matchup, in my opinion. Any quick thoughts on that?
Not really, but wanted to throw out
Pass
there.
rush.
Joe Diskin said Dak is dialed in. If he doesn't nut up, I see us putting up 40 plus. I don't see Philly matching that.
Yeah, I kind of see that. I guess I can see if Dak is dialed in, if we have that offense clicking, then it's going to be hard for them to stop us. It's just plain and simple, in my opinion, because they have a very weak defensive secondary.
Yeah. Choice Roberts saying, Micah needs to stay away from Johnson, to be honest. Just let him work that left side and terrorize those inside guys.
I would love him over the A and B gaps more often. That's my preference. But, you can see him trying to, last time he had 13 matchups in the pass rush against them. I'm hopeful that this time we can, lessen those, those matchups against their best guys. Let him attack the guys that are going to get him there to disrupt Jalen Hurts and the offense more often, more consistently. I'd rather have him against Lane Johnson. It's not about Lane Johnson. I'd rather have him, like you guys said, in the middle to make these interior guys. As Kelsey's in the middle, so he knows what he's doing. But those guards may have some issues. So look, Micah is a major piece of this whole situation for the Cowboys, of course, as we always know from that side of things, but also in the back end. So DaRon Bland's a major piece of this puzzle here, guys. So when you look at DaRon Bland, let me just make sure we got him focused here, guys. He's going to be up against number 11 a lot. Again, he's been broken down by McLaurin. He's broken down by Metcalf. And now he's going to go back to A.J. Brown, who gave him a little bit of an issue sometimes last time. Again, even though we know that DaRon Bland is on pace to earn his first All-Pro honor this year, he's obviously had his worst 2 games in his career right now. Last week was probably his worst against DK Metcalf there in the first half, his worst. But he rebounded in the second half, got a pick, and then again had lockdown coverage that helped assist the Cowboys in 3 consecutive fourth down stops by the defense. So DaRon Bland, even though he was destroyed against Terry McLaurin in the first half, destroyed against Metcalf in the first half last week, you didn't hear him too much in the second half because he locked down Metcalf most of the time and helped cause some fourth down stops in the second half of the game last week. But this week, the challenge is number 11, A.J. Brown. And just the entire receiving corps, Devontae Adams as well. Sorry, Devontae Smith, who's back there. A.J. Brown's the one to keep the closest eye on, though. In this matchup, A.J. Brown has, in the Week 9 matchup, A.J. Brown had 2 catches for 15 yards. That's it. And 4 targets. But he did get a touchdown. So he scored a touchdown. He had 2 catches, 1 for a touchdown, total of 15 yards. He only had 4 targets when he was guarded by DaRon Bland. So they lined up opposite of each other for 7 routes in that entire game. In this week's game, it's going to be critical for DaRon Bland to stay locked in on A.J. Brown when they do line up against each other. It sounds going to be flipped and flopped here, guys. But especially after the last couple of weeks, DaRon Bland's got to be on his top form here. He's got to wake up. He's going to get tested by Jalen Hurts in this game. So he's got to show Jalen Hurts. He's got to show A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, I'm dangerous when you throw at me again. We got to see that come back, or they're going to say, we're going to just pick on him and pick on him and pick on him. Of course, it all comes from the pass rush. See Micah coming. Micah's got to. We got to stop the run. That's why DeAndre Swift, stop him, and we really can get to focusing on stopping the pass. But Micah getting the pass rush going. DaRon Bland trying to get sticky on these receivers. This is a major, major, major thing for us to try to stop. And again, a very big key in our matchups against the Eagles this week. Or tomorrow. Today, really, here on two of the coasts, basically. So, baby, I don't know if you have any thoughts on this, but I want to know the family's thoughts as we wrap this thing up here tonight.
So, Grimboss said, Dak was shying. I'm worried more for our defense. Bland needs to wake the fuck up from the start.
Well, I agree with that. And we'll see how that goes. I do think that is something that the DaRon Bland has to. He has to, whether it's some coverage stuff that has to be moved around by Quinn or DaRon Bland has to be more aware. I'm not sure, but he's got to improve himself, get back to being scary to throw at.
Eagles played down to the shit teams too. There's no difference.
Yeah, I know. But that's why the Eagles are not a true threat to the Super Bowl, in my opinion.
Choice Roberts saying you got to throw a perfect pass messing with DaRon Bland, and I'll take Hurts trying to do that.
Under pressure, especially, right? I mean, the Cowboys should get about 50% pressure in this game. When you got pressure on Hurts does not play well.
Yeah.
And you saw that last time we played him.
Sadiqa, much love.
Sadiqa in the house. Much appreciation to you. We're still rolling here. We're almost done, guys. We're calling it a night here very soon. But don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and that bell. We're going to talk about a couple other things because tonight's the last chance, right, to get on this raffle. So,
in all good, Seabass, I know you'll be back in there. So, and trust me, we'll be having quite the discussion at that point. So, Amazing Game said, yep, lucked out with 3 wins with Zebra help. So, and, you know, say what you want, but I think we can only really say we had any kind of Zebra help during that one game. Honestly, I can't remember which one it was, but I know the calls were surprisingly more our way than we expected. So, anyway, with that said, guys, let me go ahead and do some of the final shout-outs of the night. And, of course, guys, your final chances here to hop into that raffle. So take a second, hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Follow us anywhere and everywhere at MyCowboysFamily. An extra special shout-out, yes, to the man, the Lunatic, for making that raffle happen.
Yes, let's put it up here.
If you drop $10 or more, then bam, you're automatically entered. Every additional $10, another entry. If you're in the membership, you also get a bonus entry. So shout out to all the MCF members, whether you're Navy Blue, Silver, Star, over everything.
And again, this is kind of wrapping up today. So again, tomorrow at halftime of this Eagle game, we will have 4 winners for these 4 prizes. We'll have first, second, third, and fourth. First one we draw is going to be first place and on down there, right? You get to choose from these prizes. You can, if you want to choose, you don't have to choose the first place prize. You can choose any of these places if you like. But we have a lot of people in this raffle, a lot of people with multiple raffles. Their last chance to get into this thing is before this stream ends tonight. I guess you can do Cash App or something like that before tomorrow, but pretty much this is your last chance here, guys. If there is an outside chance, I guess, that there's an After Dark showing.
Yeah, we'll see.
If there's something like that, of course, you can add through there too. But this is the last MCF official, raffle. We're going to opening for the raffle that you'll have a chance to either enter this thing or up your chances in this thing, adding raffles to this. So, baby, what are the 4 prizes the Lunatic is bringing to the table?
We have, of course, that awesome Cowboy car package. You can rep your cowboy gear in style here. You have the lanyard, the decals, the license plate thing, the stickers, all of it. So third place, of course, the Cowboys customizable shirt, any name, any number, and the embroidered Micah Parsons cap.
Love it.
The signature cap.
Yeah, literally, and one of a kind on both of these. And then another one of a kind, your choice, first and second place, baby. What do they get?
An authentic, stitched jersey, your choice of player, style, and size. If you want it, we got it. It's yours.
Yeah, and so many different styles, old school, new school, legends, Hall of Famers, current stars right now, young guys, so many different choices. And if we got those guys, you got your chance to get them and rep them in authentic, quality, guys. It's fantastic stuff from Cowboys Mosh. Extra special love to the Lunatic for making this happen. For making this happen. And again, halftime of the game. This is going down. Pick 4 names, 4 winners with 4 of these great prizes. So, much love to the Lunatic. Go Cowboys. Beat the fucking Eagles. So, on that note, now, I do want to also actually shout out some of the people that dropped the love from above tonight, and shout out those that are on the boards right now as we're closing out this week and this stream. Roy Strasner in the Navy Blue crew right there. Skeptical Fan gifting memberships. Jason Renfro gifting memberships, who, by the way, he lost the Cash App side, but still the overall leader right now, Jason Renfro. And he is currently the gifting leader by 1 over Skeptical Fan. So much love to Jason Renfro tonight. Motor City Maniac, who's got himself a raffle entry. He supports the Lions. You got A. Lavelle. Always repping it here. Much love to him. Has a couple of raffle entries. Stanley Smith, who, by the way, is leading the Cash App this week. Much love to Stanley Smith. Brandon James dropping the love. Amazing Games also has a bunch of entries. And JD from DC, who upped himself another entry there. Appreciate all you guys dropping the love from above, the support for the channel. And again, hopefully, some big winners tomorrow in this raffle brought to you by De Lunatic. 4 prizes, 4 different winners. Can't wait to see who wins this thing. So, baby, now that I've done that, and I did shout out the leaders right now. Like I said, Stanley Smith is edging everybody out as the Cash App leader. Jason Renfro is edging everybody out as the membership leader. He is edging everybody out as well as the overall leader. So battles are all over the place. Tomorrow we will crown champions across these boards as well. But first and most importantly, this Philadelphia Eagle Dallas Cowboy battle tomorrow right here on MCF. But that's going to be we're going to have the cameras on. We're going to get our reactions. I cannot wait for this huge game. Can you guys ready? You know what we want. We want that 6 eventually and beyond. Who's in the house, baby? We say our good nights and our peace outs.
We have GM, MB, Sadiqa Charles, C. Bass, Amazing Games, The Lunatic, Grimbot. We have Mike Aldana, Asmodeus, Corporate Liaison. Rolling back a little bit more. Thomas Garrett, Joe Diskin.
The Superior.
Kind of rolling back. Just want to make sure I get everybody here. Rolling back. JD from DC.
Yeah.
We have Rare. Bruce got the Toxic Juice. Jason Renfro. Jack Dong. Let me see.
Yeah, I cannot wait for this game.
Amazing Games.
Yeah.
Snug X.
Snug.
Trying to go back. Is that everybody? Yeah. Let me see. Tammy Sotis.
What's up, GM?
Yeah,
I did
as far back as I can go.
I did not get to see that
Good
fight.
Patriot. So, yeah, I think that's everyone here.
So, baby, hey, I was going to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Because you know we want 6 and beyond, but why do we do this here on My Cowboys Family each and every night?
It is that navy blue, that silver too, and that star over everything.
Win, lose, or draw, good, bad, or ugly, we here always rep that star over everything on MCF, as you can see. 6 years and beyond on this little part of YouTube, guys. Never forget, on My Cowboys Family, the number one thing here, now, and forever, as always, go Cowboys! Let's get that 6 and beyond, damn it. Thank you all for dropping the knowledge in the chat all night long. Appreciate you guys. I truly appreciate the love and support, the drops of love from above. And as we clock out for the night here on My Cowboys Family and, drop out of here, we will say, relock and reload for game day tomorrow, game night tomorrow. Cannot wait. But we will probably jump in. We can't even let you know when we're going to go live or not. But, make sure if you want to be on, we're going to have the cameras on, maybe have a couple drinks and pregame over on MCF After Dark. Might happen. I think we might do that tonight for an hour or something. Just go over there, chill out with us for a little bit. MCF After Dark. You search for it, you'll find it. If someone wants to drop the link, I guess you can do it. But I don't want to we don't really promote it. It's just more of a relaxed, chill, less cowboy football thing, more, world topic discussion stuff. So again, you can join us there if you want. If not, we'll see you no matter what right here tomorrow. My Cowboys Family for the big game. I cannot wait. This is a huge matchup, a huge battle, the biggest game of the year. You ready? I'm ready, baby.
Born ready.
Hell yeah. So, baby, before we can officially drop out of here for the night, what do we got to do?
We got to drop the beat.
That's right. That beat's officially dropped. Drop them if you got them when it comes to the emojis. Tomorrow I'll even throw in a couple of referee emojis, little blind ref emojis there. We're going to have some fun with that. I know we will. We'll have to have fun with it because I expect the refs to do their thing. Yeah, but we know the deal now, right? Guys, thank you again for joining us for another one as we wrap it up here on a Cowboys chat. Pre-game, preview style. Thank you for joining us for this, guys. Hopefully we'll have some Eagles tomorrow night for dinner, for her late dinner. Oh, yeah. And the party may continue after dark. Let's see what happens, guys. But here, for now, on MCF, it's always about that navy blue, that silver too, and that star over everything. Woo! Much love to Big D in the place to be.
Joining into that navy blue.
Yes. Just like that, another family member in the house. Membership in it. Much love to Big D. We need to see that Big D tomorrow and crush the Eagles. Everybody in the house, guys, at MCF, thank you again. See you tomorrow. And hey, never forget the number one thing here, my Cowboys family. Much love to everyone, even the haters. Thank you all for joining us. Hit that like, hit subscribe, hit that notification bell. We'll see you for game day. Cannot wait as we crush the filthy fucking Philadelphia Eagles. Pluck those birds. We'll see you tomorrow, guys. Have a great, safe night. Peace out. And never, ever forget, Go Cowboys!
Monk on the beat.